Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper, and this is the Morning Market Report on the Piper Academy channel. Guys, we appreciate you all being here today. We got us some green. We got these U.S. non-taxable projects continuing to pump. We had a little bit of a mixed market early in today, but guys, you can see right here, looking at the stock market open, S&P right there behind my head, opening to the red a little bit. Dow is opening to the red. NASDAQ, the only one that's up at all right now on the morning market open. Bitcoin doing some stuff over there. It's doing some things. Bitcoin, I posted this on X yesterday. I said, look, this is the Friday candle right here. We closed up here. We opened down here. That's called a CME gap. And we put this in our community on Discord, and we put this on on X. I dropped this on X and said, look, we got a CME gap, 92,000. We went up, we wicked up, closed it, pulled back down. Right now, Bitcoin fighting to hold that $90,000 range. Guys, we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at the economic events this week that you need to know about, see how these markets are opening. And let's talk about some Solana cup and handle action with the breakout to $400. And sadly, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it's all about perspective. We have Bitcoin possibly going into Wyckoff Distribution. Could we see a $75,000, $77,000 Bitcoin coming to give us some opportunity to buy and give us a little dip? We're going to be looking at all of that and a whole lot more today, right here on the Morning Market Report. Guys, let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I appreciate everybody that has joined in here to us this morning. If you guys have not done so, please hit that, smash that like button. Let us know that you guys enjoy this content. And also, I was told by Max H, I got to give a shout out to Rob. He's just getting into his trading journey and starting this out. So he's going to be watching and tuning in here to get all that alpha. So Rob, welcome to the Morning Market Report. Welcome to Piper Academy. Please pick any seat here in the classroom and enjoy. Let's get it. But I don't do the show alone. I do have my co-host with me today, like most days. It's the OC guy. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Doing fantastic. Pretty good Monday, I think. By the way, yesterday, throughout this weekend was our Black Friday here in Mexico. It's called the Buen Fin. So that's like the good end of the week, something like that. And man, I did do a couple of purchases. I got myself a brand new refrigerator, brand new dryer, brand new washer. I don't know. At this time of my life, I've quit buying stuff that I don't need and actually start buying things that I do need. Pretty weird, huh?
I watched an interesting video yesterday. This guy was talking about what poor people spend their money on, what middle class income spend their money on, and what upper class spend the rich people, what they spend their money on. It was pretty interesting that he was talking about pretty much on the lower income poor people, they spend their money buying whatever, they spend their money paying whatever they can to survive. It's all about survival. If they want anything, it's 100% on credit, and then they usually don't even pay that a lot of times, and so they just end up with ruined credit, so on and so forth. It is an endemic, self-reoccurring problem. Poor people stay poor, right? Middle class Americans, middle income, they spend their money to pay their bills, period. They pay their bills to maintain credit. They use credit to buy the things that they can't afford. And it's a income for assets, right? It's an income for, I won't call it assets. It's an income for items, material things, right? That's the only reason that they make money, to pay their bills, to have good credit, right? The mentality of rich people is that they don't buy money. They don't make money to pay bills. They don't pay their bills with their money they make. They make money to invest, to turn around, whether it be businesses, whether it be into asset classes, whether it be, into 401ks or whatever will make them a return passive income. And that's what they use to pay their bills. Their money all goes to work, not to bills or not to anything else. So, Yeah, so it was interesting that that you talked about that you bought some utility items, and I am middle class. Yes, I am middle class, but I'm working on being that next level. I try to wake up every day and go, do I need to spend this dollar on something that I don't need, or do I need to put this dollar to work, give it a name, and go, your name is now investment, or your name is now passive income through APY, whatever, right? So, yes, I am working on getting to that next level, above that next threshold. There's a threshold, right? You got to be above this threshold if you're in the lower income class, because anything beyond that is how you can invest. And if you can't get that much money as income, then you don't have anything to invest, because all you're doing is surviving, like that guy was saying. So, it's pretty interesting though, watching that whole thing, and he's absolutely right. You gotta wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to make enough money that I can break above that necessities threshold, and then start giving that all that money, each dollar, a name, a job. You have a job. Wake up and go do your money there, Dixie. And then however that plays out for you, you can keep growing until you get to that next level. But really, just take a look at what you buy every day, and if you think that you don't really need it, then don't buy it and use that money to buy things later on. That's what you do, right? Use money that you've earned off of investments, not money that you made from your work, right? But yeah, you seem to be at that point, OC. You're getting there where you stop buying things you don't really need. For the record, I needed my dog Gypsy. Don't criticize me for spending money on my dog. Alexandra G knows. She knows. But yeah, that was an interesting thing, an interesting topic that I was watching on that video yesterday. So let's go ahead and get into the news, OC. Let's talk about that. We do have some economic data this week, and I do want to show some of the things that are coming up so that people can be aware of them. But as of right now, market does look like Bitcoin is trying to pump again, so I don't want to spend too long on that. Let's give a shout out real fast, though, to our chat. I already gave a shout out to Rob. Welcome to the Trade Journey. Trade Intuition in the house. He said he smashed the like. So shout out to Trade Intuition, Crypto Coin Mindset. Guys, I'm going to be on a show the 20th. I guess that's Wednesday. I'm going to be on a show on Wednesday talking about economic data and stuff like that on Crypto Coin Mindset. So be watching in the Discord, be watching on X. I'll be dropping that link. So shout out to Crypto Coin Mindset there. Wix Swipe 589, 2Dub in the house. Ninja Clocks in here with us. Crypto Trades, one of our mentors over there. Baba Yaz, good morning. Good morning to you, man. Max H is in the house with us. Alexander G, best mod in the business, the mod queen. Username is in here. I'll gladly take a $400 Solana. Yeah, I would too. BC Port Corp, guys. We're going to talk about something here in a minute. In the news, but it has to do with the Japanese carry trade threat again. You guys remember that first time? Dumped Bitcoin by 30%. It was all because Japan raised their rates by a quarter percent. They went up on a rate hike where we've gone down, and most of the other countries have gone down. They went up. He had on this morning on Good Morning Crypto a really good breakdown of what's going on with Japan possibly raising rates again. The Japanese yen is plummeting hard right now against the US dollar. So another threat there on the horizon. Go check that video out this morning. He did a really good breakdown on it. We got username. Kyle Fields is in here. I already said username. Brakoshi, no dinero with an Ola. We got Harp in here. Max H, Eric Wallen in the house. He said, did Crux do that thumbnail? It's Solana. No, I did that thumbnail, man. Who else do we have here? Darren does things. Hey, what's up, bro? I think that's about it in here. Did I miss anybody? Falco, I got your hands, bro. I think that's about it. Let's get into the news. Knoxville said Bitcoin. That's what he did. He dropped it down there. And I think I got them all, guys. Andy S., sorry. He said poor people snip coupons and buy food, heat their house only to 65 degrees, and try to pay a utility bill in full. Fact, Andy, exactly. What they have to do to survive. That's where there's those thresholds, and so that's the difference between them all. Donato Cabrera, good morning to you, bro. Retro Mike Tech, I need adjoining private islands with the Wix. taking Piper's advice and buying. RMT, Caspa, your one Caspa you bought, it's up. It's up, bro. I'm just saying. You said if Jake Paul won, you would buy Caspa. I said, I'm holding you to that. You're a whole coiner. You bought one Caspa. Your one Caspa is up, so you're welcome. Buck's in here with us also. All right, let's get into the news. There's a lot of people. If I missed you, I love you. I love you all. F-bomb, Cass. That's what he said. Let's go over to the news and let's take a look at that. Let me get it set up first here. Let's move that over. There we go. And perfect. Give that a refresh. Now, here we go. To the news. We got news. Yay. I was wondering, I was like, where's my news set up? There we go. Guys, we do have a market cap right now up 1.09% on the market cap for crypto. It's sitting at $3.18 trillion. The volume in the past 24 hours is down. So we're seeing some weakness there. That volume dropping hardly up on that Bitcoin, on that crypto market cap. So we are seeing some market weakness. Buyers are slowing down right now, just kind of waiting to see what happens with after this pump. We had a really good rally. Looking here at the daily, guys, you can see HBAR's up 37%, XLM's up 22.8. Let's just go down here and take a look at the top 20 and just see how things are looking. Bitcoin is sitting at $90,700, up 0.55% on the daily, up 1% in the past hour. It has recovered some of its losses from the after it hit that 92,000 CME gap, pulled back down. We are getting that. We do have Ethereum sitting at $3,000, 0.54% there, 54%, yeah, but 0.54%. They're a little over 0.5% up on the daily. Solana up 4.7%, sitting at $243. Of course, we're going to be looking at that cup and handle pattern here in a little bit, talking about how that breakout can lead to $400 Solana. XRP is up 4%, continuing to make its rally, breaking that dollar up to $1.14 there and looking good. What else we got? Dogecoin up 1.1. It's still doing okay. Cardano 1.9, still doing okay. 3.5% on Tron. Shiba Inu, guys, those meme coins continuing to burn it off. Moving up one position here to number 11, up 0.48% there. Avalanche losing that spot to Shiba Inu and down 3.4%. Sui is neutral on the daily right now after making a 3.3% rally in the past hour. Chainlink up 4.7%, sitting at $14.67. Anything in here? 23% on Stellar Lumens. We talked about that. Chronos up 11.2, HBAR up 37.2%. Yeah, Render's up 13.6. So some movers in here today, but a lot of them are just trying to recover what they lost there on the overnight. Let's jump into the economic calendar. Let's talk about this, guys. Today, nothing big going on today. We have a Fed speak and then some housing market index stuff coming in. None of these are major items. I mean, they're number 2 impact, but none of them are major items. The first big one's going to be coming in tomorrow. That's going to be at 6:30 a.m. my time, 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So an hour, right about the time that we're done with the broadcast tomorrow. Building permits are going to be coming in. They're looking like there's going to be an increase in building permits, which means how that translates to economic data is that if there's an increase in building permits, it means there's an increase in construction. An increase in construction is an increase in economic strength. So we're going to be watching that tomorrow when that comes in. And then housing starts also. Was at 1.35 million. It has consensus right now is 1.34 million, forecast to be neutral at 1.35 million. I do think that this comes in a little bit lower. Housing starts have slowed down. A lot of people not buying houses right now because they're a little worried about these rates. So they're thinking that they're going to come down, but they're not. You're going to need to buy. And like Lunar Beaches did, he pulled the trigger. He bought that house. Rates have gone up since he bought, and he got in at a good rate. So we're going to be looking at that on Tuesday. Initial jobless claims is going to be coming in on Thursday. This is the weekly report, guys, of unemployment filing. And it looks like right now, 223,000, 224,000 are the consensus and forecast to the previously reported 217,000 jobless claims last week. So watch that one on Thursday. And on Friday, guys, we just go into the composite PMI and the Michigan consumer sentiment. So which sentiment looks like it's going to be higher, which means people believe the economy, they're getting more faith in the economy. So There's what we're seeing there on the weekly for that. As of right now, guys, this Fed rate, we were just talking about the Japanese Fed rate. Let's talk about the U.S. Fed rate here. Right now for the December FOMC, this is on December 18th. It's the day after my birthday. It looks like right now, 41.6% chance of no change. That means a rate pause. We're not going to increase, not going to decrease. 58.4% chance that we see a 25 basis point rate cut. So looking back here, let's give this a quick refresh just to see how the markets are looking. Yep, the Dow Jones is still in the red. S&P is still in the red. NASDAQ's the only one that's up, and it's barely up at 0.06%. Let's jump over into X marks the spot, guys. We are 48.2% of the way through the bull run. Congratulations. We've almost made it to the halfway mark. That is according to Rect Capital. And then down here, guys, Fear and Greed Index currently sitting in extreme greed at 83 as the price is pulling back. I think we'll see a little reset on that tomorrow if we do get some downside move. We're going to talk about this. Bitcoin is dancing around 90,000, hinting at possible distribution phase. We're going to have OC pull up that Wyckoff distribution and talk about that here in a bit, because that could see some downside movement. Matter of fact, Tim Warren is actually talking about that distribution. If it starts to look like distribution, if we don't hit new all-time highs, this means that the bull market is, doesn't mean that the bull market's over, but we could return closer to $70,000 before it resumes. Now, why that's interesting is because if we look at what Kyle Dupe said here, let me get that back in. And let's open it up and let's talk about this because there's some important info in here. 95% of the supply is in the green. History shows that the new all-time high discovery phase usually spans about 22 days. So for about 22 days, it goes into price discovery. We're on day 18. Which means we could see that pullback in the next 4 days. That would be this week with that pullback to those levels, 77, 75, some as low as $70,000 being called for here on this distribution. And we are pretty much at the end of discovery, the discovery pump right now. So we're going to be taking a look at that on the chart. And I think that's about it. Traders are broadening, worried about the rising dollar threat. No, we're not going to talk about that right now. Was there anything else in here that I wanted to go over on X marks the spot? Yeah, this one's kind of fun news here. History, for the first time ever, one Bitcoin is now worth more than the average U.S. retirement savings. You can take a look down here, retirement accounts, 86.9 thousand in 2022 that was the average amount in a savings account. So that includes like retirement accounts, stuff like that, in retirement savings, right? Right now, Bitcoin is worth more than the average retirement account was in 2022. We don't have most recent data on this, but bottom line is, according to the Bitcoin historian, sell your IRA, buy Bitcoin, or be diversified. It's up to you. Let's jump back over here. OC, let's go take a look at Bitcoin here, because I think that it's important for people to understand where we are right now on the price and then the levels that we're talking about. So have that distribution ready, but let's go jump in and talk about that. I am going to pull up the heat map here real fast to show some levels on that also, because I do think that we have another move to the upside before we go to the downside. And I'm going to show why here on my chart. Let's go over here. Let's go. Guys, looking at the heat map here, you can see, and let me give it a little refresh here because I'm on a 24-hour. I want to show you this little level that we have right above us. There's a nice hot level up here on the heat map coming in at about $93,000. That would be one more push up, grab liquidity before it comes down. But do we have any hot spots that are sitting below us in that $77,000 range? I want to go over here. I think it was, I think I just clicked monthly. Yeah, 67,000. We have a hot map there, a hot spot on the 1 month, but let's look at the 3 week. I think there's one in this range. Yeah, we start to get into it at about 75,000. You can see there's a little area here in that 86 to 83,000, and then it starts to get dark again. And then our next level, and this is like $1 billion down here, guys. Between $71,000 to $76,000 is about $1 billion in liquidity sitting down there. Let's jump over to the chart just to see what we're looking at here. I want to put this on the 4 hour and we'll talk about this, because what we saw over the weekend, is this right here. Actually, we're going to put this on the hourly, guys. Looking at this on the hourly, we on over the weekend here, and this is going to be Thursday here. So here we go. We came down on Sunday. We touched. Whoa, sir, you are just jumping everywhere. There we go. Came down. We touched the dynamic reactor. That's running right there. If I turn this off, you'll see that right there perfectly. And then also the 3D trend bottom was right there too. So we had double confluence there for a nice bounce range. If we bring in the oscillator, you'll also see that the Oscillator Pro Plus gave us the uptrend. We started to flip after clipping there on the True 7. So this was all pretty much calling the bottom here on the oscillators and on the support ranges that we hit. We came in, we went to the upside. I put out the note to everybody and said, hey guys, look for 92,000 to whatever it was, 233, I think it was. The high side on this candle here was 92,234. So there you go. We came perfectly up, closed out that CME gap from Friday, and it started to pull back. Right now, we are in a major support area on the 1 hour with that dynamic reactor, and then also the 3D trend green cloud. Let's go ahead and bring in and show what we have here. Also, we do have a nice liquidity block. It's more bullish than bearish. That's why it's green right there. But sitting here below is at about 86, which remember, that's that first area on the heat map we just talked about. There is a liquidity area on that first area of the heat map, and that's coming in between $87,000 to $86,000 right now. It is also more bullish. If we go in though and we start to look at these on the higher time frames to see what we're seeing here, guys, we do have a channel down here, a wedge, I should say, an auto printed chart pattern here, coming all the way in at about $80,000 here. That's also where the 1-to-1 is. But if we want to go a little bit more, let's go 12-hour and let's just take a look at what we're seeing here. Guys, we really don't have any major support coming in here until about 73,000. That would be the platinum pocket here on the fib lines. Plus, you know, we did come through and we came back and retested it here on the 12-hour. But once we got away from it, we have not really come back to test out again. So we could be seeing this dynamic reactor coming into the range about the time that the price is getting down here to retest that dynamic reactor in confluence with the 887 to the upside. Looking at the Oscillator Pro Plus on the 12-hour, we did get the VWAP overbought there. We got overbought off of the indicators. We had numerous divergences, and we already clipped the top side there of the True 7. That's that shape right there. That is 7 different indicators giving you confluence, and guys, it topped out. So we started to come down. Money flow still looking good. Volume is still looking good, but the oscillator ribbon with those things triggering, I could see us pull back. I'm actually watching more for 81,000, that first level of all of that clean out. Is it possible to hit that 73, 75K? Sure. But I want to kick it over to OC and see what he's saying because he knows this Wyckoff stuff way better than I do. What you got, OC?
Well, let's take a look at here first at Bitcoin, and also let's visit a little bit of a Wyckoff. At the very beginning, when Piper was mentioning this, it was a little bit hard for me to see it because the first thing I look at is the 4 hours, right? And yes, despite we have a little bit of what I always look at, it is this little hump and then a higher high, and then we have a little bit of a range. And let's go visit that parameter, right? If you take a look at before, I already have circled or showed you that little movement here, that little movement, a range, and then we kind of like always have a little bit of a retracement. We have again this little humping here, and then we have the range, and then a little bit of a retracement, and so on and so forth. So we have the little range. The little hump, then the little range, and then we go back into a retracement. That retracement can be a little bit deceiving because we most of the times go and visit the dynamic reactor. So for in the 4 hour time frame, for me, it doesn't make too much sense to look at this microscopic Wyckoff rounded top or Wyckoff distribution. But what will make a little bit more sense to me would be looking at a possibility that we are into a symmetrical triangle at this point. So let's go and just take a quick look on what Wyckoff should be looking like. And then the important thing it is that on the distribution, we have 2 types of distribution starting with, right? I mean, there's a ton more of distribution phases and gets a little bit more complicated. potato, but what is it called? Banana, right?
Potato,
Patata.
potato.
So yeah, potato. That's the one. Yeah, and the only thing that kind of like matters to me at this point, it is the UTAD, which is actually institution is generating this area in here, which is a farther high of the phase B. Remember when we look at Wyckoff, we look for the V-shaped recovery, right? And then we look for farther movement or top of the range, farther movement or low of the range, depending on how you looked at this, right? And based on those, we trade the inside of the range, and then we just compensate for whatever it just goes up or down further. An important thing that I was also mentioning Piper today morning, it is that at this point, we don't have that part of the range lower here, right? We don't have, anything else up in here. So I still think that we need to do a little bit more of a ranging zone. And 18 days on discovery out of 20, 2 days on the 4 hour. I don't know if we're going to have enough volume here to actually generate a full Wyckoff pattern. So as long as we don't lose the 86K, I think we're fine. We're not into a distribution Wyckoff pattern. I think yes, starting to look like, but we still need a key factor, which is the next low, and not losing that. Not breaking to the upside on that low and then coming back down. That's what I'll be calling a Wyckoff pattern. But so far, I would be calling this just for now. All right, just for now, I'll be calling this a symmetrical triangle. Let's go really quick to the daily here, and the same thing happened here. Remember, guys, that everybody was calling this area a possible bull flag, or even then, after a little while, I was a little bit of a triangle, if I do remember correctly. And then I was, hey guys, this is a Wyckoff pattern, and that specifically came up with this patterning here, right? The V-shaped recovery that we had here, the high not higher than this one, the same thing, the ranging or the low no lower than the ranging area, and that gave me a very solid possibility of a Wyckoff pattern. The only thing is that, it doesn't need to be perfect, of course, right? But I just don't see it specifically in here. I don't see the little pause other than in here. I do see the possible V-shaped recovery, maybe lower range, but then we just keep spending too much time up here, right? So if you just take a look at how that triangle is playing, I think a triangle will be a little bit more in line of what I'm looking at until we break and bounce. This bounce will be calling for then a Wyckoff distribution, and then what we could be looking at is a lower low than this area, and then if that happens, I will be seeing a further move to the downside. How low? Well, first area of support is going to be dynamic reactor, which at this point, just projecting it, will be somewhere around 83. And then for the worst case scenario on my side, I would say it is 76 to 73. All right, I know it's a big chunk, but we need to look at where. Oh, let's go to, what is it? The 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour, and we need to look at where we have the areas of value and also smart money. Let's just give it a little second. Here we go. And we have a smart money area right here, right below this little range, which might be going for a big movement, then momentum sweep down, and then further movement here. So I will be calling this as the support and this as my wick down area. So that's what I'm aiming at those points. Something important before I wrap things up, it is the 4 hour multiple divergence. This is worrying. Whatever you're looking at, either you're looking at that symmetrical triangle or the Wyckoff of the Wyckoff distribution, regardless, we are having a ton of bearish divergences, and we are about to lose that zero line. Not only that, look at the compression that we have on those clouds. That is to be worried, right? On the compression, what it means, it is that we are building up a strength, or we're building up pressure. And usually when we see compression at the top, usually that indicates that we're going to be bursting down. But when we see compression very close to the zero line and we see bearish divergence, that is not a good signal. look at how we break below after that compression, and we have a dramatic move to the downside, in this case, going to the dynamic reactor. So far, we're going to replicate this in here. We're seeing compression, possibly going to the dynamic reactor. In that case, I think that we're not going to be making the Wyckoff distribution, but it will be a breakout retest of a triangle that we can see. But still remains to be seen. I'm not ruling out just now Wyckoff distribution. I just don't see it as clear as seeing this as a possible symmetrical triangle. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Yeah, I just want to jump over here real fast. We just got breaking news on CNBC Pro that I'm watching over here to my right. And NAHB, guys, that is the National Association of Home Builders, the housing market index. This is pretty much their sentiment about how they feel about the housing market as a whole. Came in at 46, was expected to be 44, previously at 43. It beat its expectations. So the housing market is feeling a little bullish right now. So I wanted to go over that, but I want to jump over here and talk about this article. This is one of the concerns, and you can see here the headline on it. Traders like the broadening post-election rally, but they're getting worried about the rising dollar threat. Come down here and take a look at this rising dollar impact on quarter four in 2025. The U.S. dollar is more than 2.5% rise since election day is starting to create concerns about a potential impact on quarter four in 2025 earnings, according to a number of traders and strategists. And to talk about the S&P earnings, guys, it should give investors in multinational companies, which by definition is the S&P 500, some pause and some concern, but it is very difficult to model. I think for now, for better or worse, a lot of investors are saying, we'll worry about it when it's time to worry about it. But right now, it does look like the ICE US dollar index is currently at a higher level than what is in June of 2022, when Microsoft warned of a stronger dollar impact to earnings. Other multinational companies, including Johnson & Johnson, Estee Lauder, and Amazon, also warned of the dollar impact that year. And according to Everscore ISI, S&P 500 companies get approximately 30% of their earnings from outside of the United States. So let's talk about how that works. Shout out to Alex Crypto bringing in the Otter gang. Let's go, man. Appreciate you all being here. How this works is, remember, companies in the US-based companies, their earnings coming 30% coming from international. All those companies have to do conversions of their currencies to the US dollar in order to be that 30% of US business profits, right? And so that deviation in the valuation of the US dollar versus the currencies is creating a very expensive where they may look for elsewhere for that business, which means earnings would slow down. We could see stock market pullback from that. So there's another little piece of bearish data. But guys, I think that when you really look at it all, the big point right now is that these are your opportunities, right? This pullback to 70,000, what's that going to do to alt? It's going to absolutely crush this money. It's going to trap a lot of people. A lot of people will sell, causing a cascading effect of more downside. But if you're in the know, you're in the know, right? And so that is where we're going to look at those levels. So let's go ahead and get into some alts. I do have a piece of news here, and I saw that you had something up on this also. On this asset class here, OC, but let's talk about this right here. Let's go over here. Actually, we're going to put it on news cam. Come on in here with me, OC. What's up? Welcome. Cardano surges, bullish rebound, sparks optimism for further upside. Let's talk about some Cardano. It's in the spotlight as a strong bullish rebound from that 68 cents support level, and it has reignited traders' optimism. This comeback marks a possible turning point for ADA, with renewed momentum driving the price higher and signaling a resumption of its uptrend as buying interest strengthens. Market sentiment appears to be shifting in favor of the bulls. So let's take a look at that ADA chart in just a second. But if you guys want more information on anything in the Cardano space, guys, go over here, type in ADA ACE. You're going to find, there we go. Let's jump that in there. ADA ACE right there. That's the guy. That's the man. The ADA ACE. Go follow ADA ACE on YouTube. You are going to find anything and everything you could possibly want to know about the ecosystem, the space, what they're building, what they're working on. ADA ACE is the go-to guy on all this stuff, and he's also involved right now with the white paper on something called, I believe it's Hydro Drip. correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got a lot. The dude's wicked smart when it comes to Cardano. I don't even pretend to understand his level of knowledge, but guys, Cardano doing a lot of bullish things, and evidently investors are very bullish right now on the sentiment of where the market price could go on Cardano. Let's jump over and let's take a look at that chart, and then we'll come back and see what OC was talking about there on ADA also. Ada, where are you on my list over here? You're not there. You're not there. 1 second, we'll find it. I do have Ada in here. I promise. I have it in here somewhere. I'm probably overlooking it. Let's just go up here. We'll pull it up this way. Because I haven't looked at it in a while, and I do want to see where we are with. There we go. Ada. It was already on that list. Big time. AVAX, Near, Doge, Render. Yep. Jasmine. Ada. Oh, it's right there underneath Caspa. Look at that. All right, guys. So we did have our trend-based fibs on here. Is these trend-based? These might be trend-based. Yeah, there's the trend-based. All right, so we did have the fibs on here, guys. We were watching for this level, and we came in. I want you guys to see here. Let's turn everything else off here. We'll look at this on the 4-hour, and we'll talk about this level down here where we had all of this play at. You guys see all of this consolidation down here? This is the platinum pocket, and that is where we were getting a lot of support. Key areas to buy would have been between 30 cents to the upside of 36 cents there. We came in, we had a nice little fight here on the golden pocket. Look at this play. Perfect rejection off of the 618. Came down, did a little pull down below the 0.66, got its bounce, shot up some more. Broke the 50% here. We did have a little bit of a play there, but look, we did not close the door. When you go through, bust through, and you never come back to close the door, you got to come back and close that door, guys. We came back and tested the 50% right there after that rejection on the 0.236. Let's go up here and see where we got our top side rejection with on the zero line at 81 cents. Now, what they're talking about here for that retest area, if we do a smaller level of fibs here and we just run that, you can see that 382 right there gave us nice support bounce, okay? So on the smaller time frames, we do have fib support that they're talking about in that article, and that's why they're bullish. We're in this consolidation here above a retested support. If we do pull back, guys, I'm watching for the 382. Why? Because we do have the value area high right here off the fixed range volume profile, okay? And you can see right here, we do have that volume node on the 236, but if you watch it here, it doesn't do anything until the 382, and that is going to be right there above that value area high. Plus on top of that, let's get rid of the Mexican spaghetti. Mexican spaghetti cleared off the plate. Now we have a fresh, clean run here. We also have the 3D trend coming in at that level also with the 382 retest and with that value area high. Let's throw on the power of chart prime, see what it's showing us here. Looks like by the time that this can come down, the dynamic reactor would also be into that cloud range too, guys. So that's what I'd be watching. I'd be watching if we do pull back about 59.3 cents. OC, let's kick it over to your chart and let's see what you're seeing over there because I saw that you had a little something on ADA up earlier, so you were looking at it. What do you got?
Absolutely. So we're talking about this, and it almost exactly played out that we were expecting, right? If you take a look at here, we were doing some ADA analysis before, and we set some alerts. So right here, and this is what I think we should be looking at for Bitcoin. It is we already have going through this channel. We have the burst through it, right? So basically just looking at the current channel and see where is it going to be breaking to. And then now, as you can see, I was expecting it to have a break, a little bit of a ranging here, coming back for a retest and keep moving forward. But this range, instead of happening right below here, it did happen slightly above of what I was expecting. So at this point, what I'm going to be doing is just moving my whole analysis to the upside and then just waiting to see what's going to happen. Let's just do a quick refresh in here. As you can see, I had a little bit of an error here. So if ever happens to you, just go within any settings, change it back, and then it will be reloading for you. On the 4 hours, we're heading basically at previous highs based on the back look back period in here. But something important is where we start having not only smart money entries, but also where we have big retail support areas, right? So as you can see right here, we have a little bit of a trend line. So my analysis is not that far off. Let's just move it in here a little bit like that. So what I'm going to be expecting here, if Bitcoin does not plummet to the downside, will be just a little bit more of a ranging zone, and then a possible sweep of the lows either here or here. And what would that be? Because right here, that means that we are going at least for another cycle of up and down, and we're going to be hitting this smart money area. And if we go a little bit lower, that would be a sweep of the lows for a possible double top, hitting the trend line, hitting the golden line, and also very, very close to the, let me just move this out of the way, very, very close. Sorry about that. To the retail
Breathe,
area.
man, breathe.
Retail area is known for. Yes, I need to breathe. I forgot. I just can't do analysis or breathing, so I need to concentrate. So sweep of the lows, going for that area of support. Yeah, I know. And in that case, we need to do another analysis, because we could be below the trend line and then going for a further move, or once again to visit the dynamic reactor that is coming in here strong. So at this point, we are on hold on ADA. Did play it out very, very well for the past analysis. But entries area of looking for entries, 0.69 with a flip of the ribbon. And look at that. This is what I was talking about. You see this little icon? Just hover over it, click here, change something, change it back, click OK. And this will force trading view to give you a result. Remember that this point trading view has been just a little wonky on the RAM availability. So there we go. Once again, exactly what we're expecting or what we're looking for, flip of the ribbon. Let me just scoop it over here, right? So when we have flip of the ribbon at some support, that will be your entry area. Remember to find confidence and revisit your own analysis. Turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm watching a couple of things here. I got to make a few announcements here of things that you guys need to know about. We did have a question in the chat said, when are we going to be able to get the 3D trend? Guys, we have some stuff going on. Let's jump over here. This was posted this morning in the Chart Prime Discord. And I was watching it. I've been watching for it because OC and I are fighting to get this 3D trend out to you guys. It's coming soon. This is not the 3D trend. This is in general. You've been asking about Black Friday releases, discounts, and more. And we're here to tell you that you don't have much longer to wait. This November, there are new releases, the likes of which you've never seen before, that will change the way you trade forever. Massive discounts and plans coming, updates coming. We shall release clues in the coming days, not much longer. These releases will change the way you trade and will change the way you use indicators. Game changer special coming, guys. So this is a little announcement. I'm hoping that the 3D trend isn't here, but what I want to show you guys, because I was going to show you this last week and I spaced it 2 days in a row. Guys, this is some of the stuff that they're talking about here. Let me drop that down. Guys, you see this right here? This is a new setup, a new system coming from Chart Prime. The developers at Chart Prime made this. And this is it uses Chart Prime indicators, and it is a trader that uses 3 commas, okay? You can go in, run a back test on it. This here was on Bitcoin. They did a back test on this. Initial investment, $1,200, 5x leverage. Total investment capital they have is $5,000, so they were using some, for it. Guys, it came in 4,937% profit gains since 2020. That would be March 25th, 2020. It runs the entire period in there of the bear cycle drop, okay? This new back tester trade bot, it's an algorithmic trade tester that will back test everything for you, and then you can then run that automated through 3 commas on your exchange to trade for you guys. This is some of the stuff they're talking about that's coming. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be beautiful. There's another one on Solana, 3,000% returns on that. Guys, it's all coming. It's all coming. So the 3D trend, I believe, is going to be in that breakout. It's a bot. It's not necessarily a bot. It can be automated by 3 comma for you to use it as a bot, but it does all of the, you set up the strategy, you put in what you want from your chart prime indicators, and it does the trading for you using chart prime indicators, and then also the strategies of what you want to use from it. So it's amazing. OC's been watching a lot on this, and so have I. And then we both have a seminar class on it today with the developers. We'll know a lot more about it after that. But yeah, that's some of the stuff that they're talking about that's coming, guys. And then also, I want to talk about this. If you guys don't know, last night we launched Markets After Dark here on Piper Academy with Lunar Beach's crypto. He's had 148 views already, so shout out to Lunar Beaches. Markets After Dark, this goes live every night, I believe, at 9, 10, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was 9 o'clock my time when it went live. But Markets After Dark with Lunar Beaches, he gave a great breakdown last night of how the markets were looking. He looks at the Asian market opening and all that, gives you a nice insight into what's going to happen the next day at market open. So we got Markets After Dark adding the 4th show here on the Piper Academy Network. So shout out to Lunar Beaches. You guys need to go check that stuff out. We got BC Port Corp still doing, of course, Good Morning Crypto, where this morning he talked about the Bank of Japan looking like more likely at rate hikes there going on. So that is what I have there. I don't think I have anything up here. Nope, I don't. OC, what do you got for some more altcoins? Let's go and jump into that. We got about 12 minutes to do a real good deep dive on a couple of alts. So what you got for us?
Oh, I have EOS. So basically, a couple of days ago, so shout out to Buck. He was, hey, buddy, what happened to you last night? Not last night, but when he mentioned it, right, that went crazy with those coins. Sometimes I just wake up, well, end up my day, I just see a bunch of things, so I trade them all together. This was one of those, right? So looking at what we were expecting here, possible bull flag structure, I will be considering entering a breakout of the lightning fast retest. So what happens here? Basically, exactly what we were expecting, not at the same timing that I was expecting it, but it did break out like very fast, lightning fast retest with just one candle here, and then burst to the upside. There we go. Also, double resistance possible. Create a double low high and oscillator. So did not create a double high in here, but what it did create is a goose hit. And usually that goose hit is a further continuation before a move into the downside. So nonetheless, remember, guys, that we are looking at this since here, guys, right? So basically it took, let me just measure that for you. Measuring tool, where are you? On dates, on bars, we basically predicted over 33 bars, over a month worth of that trade. So as you can see, it is just like the weather, right? The further that you start predicting stuff, the less closer the micro movements will be, but usually overall follows the same mathematical model or the mathematical prediction, right? When we were talking about weather, when we're talking about trading, almost the same thing. It has the overall movement, despite doesn't have the itty bitty tiny cracks and movements that you are looking for, right? Nonetheless, played out very nicely here. Let me just remove everything we got here, and we have at this point a retracement. This to me looks like a lower low, but a dead cat bounce. If we lose this previous low, we're definitely into a dead cat bounce. Most likely, we're gonna go visit the lower areas here as we lose the zero lining here, because we have an inverted goose head. It is not what I like it to be. Usually, inverted goose heads, I want it to be somewhere around here. But so far, this tells me that we're most likely going to be losing either the trend line or the dynamic reactor. So be very careful, because this thing is also showing on Bitcoin. All right. So this kind of like a movement, but on the daily, let me just show it to you very quick. Come on, load. So let's just give it one more second here. And well, we don't have it just yet, but on the 4 hour, we're having that weakness on that inverted goose head. Be careful on EOS. I don't think right now is the time to start longing it. It was before, but unless we see flip of the ribbon here or flip of the ribbon there at some support areas, well, then that's what I'm going to be trying maybe to long it once again. Possible entries, 58, 53, and 48. Once again, only when we have flip of the ribbon at those areas. Other than that, turning back to you, Piper.
Awesome. I just updated the emojis. So here in a moment, you may have to like check it next time, but I think I got the mad emoji in there for the members. So there you go. Let's go check out one more thing here on the charts before we head out of here. I want to go take a look here at Ethereum. Let's talk about this levels here. So on Ethereum, guys, we've been talking about, let's go to the daily so we can really see back in history, and we'll turn everything else off here except for this line. We've been talking about this diagonal trend line back here, this blue line running diagonal. It goes all the way back to November 22nd, and it was support a lot of times. You can see all the times that we tested it as support. We did have it as resistance for a while, came back in, became support. We did get back above it after numerous rejections here as resistance. We did get back above it, and now we have tested this. So this trend line still playing out that we've been talking about here on the channel on the morning show. Showing us the support line, guys. It's coming in right now at about $3,000. Nice psychological number also. Looks like we got MAD. MAD's in the house. Alexandra said refresh, and there you go. So now we have the MAD logo in the house. Shout out to LBC. We got you, bro. Now all of the channels have a logo in there. So Good Morning Crypto is there and everybody. So yeah, but guys, $3,000 is the level I would watch for on Ethereum. Nice support diagonal there in that line. If we do break up again, watch here. I see this pump up here that we did, and then we pulled back. That was because we had a value area high, and we got a rejection on the 50. We've got to get above this 50 and retest that for a continuation to the upside. If we don't, it's very possible we could be heading right back down to about 23.56. Nice downside move back to that point of control there, because when you lose the value area high, you do tend to go to the point of control. The only saving grace we have right now is this retest here of the 382 as support. So that one coming in at about $2,700. It does look like here on the Oscillator Pro Plus on the daily that we did get the overbought VWAP printed. We do have the True 7 coming down, the ribbon coming down, money flows coming down. The only thing that looks decent right now is the volume. Let's put this on a lower time frame and see the most recent happenings here in price action, see what this could mean for us on the oscillator. Yeah, money flow, guys, this green wave here, money flow continuing to come down. Volume is looking weak on the 4 hour. I do think that we probably do get a retest at $2,700 on Ethereum. So going to have to keep watching that one. So it's just that blue trend line. Again, that blue trend line right now is coming in at about $3,036. So that's what I got there for Ethereum. OC, you got anything else? We got about 5 minutes left. Is there anything that you're watching right now on the charts?
Absolutely. I think we can go take a look at ALC. ALC, that's a night I gave a little bit of a very quick pointing here. It just opened the market, it hit the target, and then retraced like immediately. So it was very, very quick. So it's time for me to retrace or to remove everything here. Let's go back to the 4 hour. What I'm seeing on ALC, if you are looking to get a little bit, I think it is still a little bit of a danger. Why? Because we are below the zero line. But something important, it is that we have confirmed a double bottom, right? This is the neckline. Let me just do it a little more professionally here. There we go. This is the neckline, which at this point we're trying to break down or break up here. And we are in the green cloud. That indicates to me that I still have a little bit more momentum to try to make a break to the zero line. Am I saying that we're going to break the zero line? No. But I think that we now have a high possibility to do so. Absolutely. This is basically what I could be looking or expecting right here on the oscillator. A little bit of that movement up, rejection, and then back up by breaking through, retesting, and going to find the dynamic reactor. So far, we have almost empty space. And if we start turning on here our support and resistance, order blocks, we'll see that we only, with quotations, right, have a soft order block, which in his majority, it is fully bearish. So that's why I'm expecting a breakout retest. So we're being pushed down back for the soft order block. And then if we are breaking back above the zero line, this would be your entry for a long run to the dynamic reactor. Entry point at the breakout retest at 86.74, and first target TP number 1, 89.99, TP number 2, 891.97. That's what I'm looking on ALC. ALC has been playing out very fantastic for us lately. So I think I'm gonna maybe try keep trading it until I start doing some erratic movements. Then maybe I just move to the next one. Other than that, bullish on ALC. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Yeah, let's jump in here, take a look at HBAR. We had a request for that. We'll wrap it out with some HBAR. Guys, we had this level back here where we pulled from the low to the high. These were fibs that I did a while back. I haven't looked at HBAR in a hot minute. We did lose this one-to-one line and went below it for a whole period of time here. Just now, today, on this daily candle, we did wick perfectly up to the 50 and get a rejection. Typically, that's bearish. Okay, I do think that we're going to come back down into the golden pocket here and then get our bounce to the upside. Why do I think that? Well, it's a tell of two fibs. And let's talk about this other fib set, which is being pulled from the top here to the bottom that we had here. Okay, that one is giving us a break through the 50, and we're heading up to the golden pocket here. Let's go on both of these and let's talk about this for 1 second, because if we get here's the 50. We get that pullback into the golden pocket here. Guys, that golden pocket is in line with the 50% here on the other fib. That would give us the push up to get into that fib. And if you take this and isolate it, there's the retest of the golden pocket to the upside. And then let's go and let's do this one on there, and you'll see that that is a pullback to retest the 50 before the golden pocket. It plays out on both of the fibs there, different sequencing going on. And it's running with where I think our target is, and that target being $1.30 range in that ballpark, 129.7, 129, or sorry, 12.9 cents on the bottom side, and then 13.5 cents on the top side. Sorry about that. Decimals, math is hard sometimes. Yeah, 12.9 cents to 13.5 cents on the upside. That retest level being 11.2 cents on that 50, which again is also the golden pocket at 11.3 cents. So I think that's what's going to happen there. Taking a look at the oscillator here, let's drop it down on the 4 hour and just see what's happening here on the 4 hour. We do have a green ribbon, but it is starting to curve here. True 7 has already started to come down, and it looks like money flow is weakening a little bit here. Looking at this on the daily, we're also very high on the ribbon here for a pullback too. Remember, we can pull back and just kind of consolidate in that range of the golden pocket, and that will cool all of this off for us. So that's what we have there on HBAR. I do want to show you guys what I'm doing right now. What is my approach to all of this? It's all on the Piper Sniper. That's what I'm doing right now to watch what the markets are going to do, to see where this can lead us if we are going to get that pullback, how I'm going to handle that pullback, that distribution retracement. Guys, it's all going to be based on my Piper Sniper here. I have set all of this onto the 4 hour. You can see that everything right now is still green on target lock and target hold. I have set up my alert here on the Piper Sniper alert for that 4 hour to tell me, hey, we're doing a little retracement here. When these start to turn red on target lock and target hold on the lower time frames, I will take my long that I still have, which is in great profit, and I will set a short to hedge against it. And then I will make money on the short while maintaining my good position on the long. Once that looks like we're hitting into those areas of support that we talked about at the beginning of the show, if you tuned in too late, go back and watch it. You'll get all that info. But once we hit those ranges, then I'll close out that short, take all that profit, add to my long position, and continue that run. But right now, Piper Sniper is where it's all at for me. I'm watching it closely. I got my alert set. I can walk away, go have lunch with the wife today, and if I get my alerts, hit it. It's time for a short. We will get that. So as far as Bitcoin to the upside, I'm not going to close that long. I do believe that Bitcoin's going to continue to move up. If we do get a pullback, I want to be prepared for it, not scared, be prepared, set a hedge short against it so that I have a long and a short open, and then I will let that thing run. But as of right now, guys, we are looking pretty decent. Markets are not horrible today. Matter of fact, let me take a quick look here at what's going on with the markets. It looks like the Dow Jones is the only thing that's down right now, and it's only down 0.2%. S&P and the NASDAQ trying to fight to the upside. Russell 2K is back, and want to show you this to you guys because we talked about this last week that the VIX going to the upside was going to be an indication that the markets may start to reverse. The VIX is down today 2.48%. So the VIX is pulling back down while the markets are continuing to get some upside movement, minus that Dow Jones. So that's what we have there, guys. Just be prepared, be aware, and watch all of that. I do think that Bitcoin does have more upside potential than downside potential, as we talked about on that liquidation heat map earlier. Again, just to recap on that, we do have a lot of liquidity sitting below us, but when you look at this on the 24-hour and on the 48-hour, we do have a major hot spot at $93,000, as we said at the beginning of the show. That looks closer with more money in it than what we do to the downside. So just be ready. Be ready. If we do get that distribution kickoff and it goes down, I told you guys my plan. I plan on hedging my long. I'm not going to close that bad boy out. I think that this cycle is not done yet. So, OC, what do you got for the people on the way out, man? It's time to head over to the frat house and raid Randy Hipper's house. Go see the frat mom. What do you got for him?
Absolutely. By the way, Piper, I do remember that we were talking about gold and copper last time on the summa cum laude classes. Well, then it had the bounce that we were talking about.
I know. I saw that. Copper, gold, everything is on the way up, right at where we talked about. So, yep.
Nice. Boom shakalaka. Other than that, guys, please consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. Nice. And also give us a like button if you think that we're giving you good information, or at least we're, like if you like the content, that really helps us with the algorithm. Other than that, guys, thank you so much. And click that like button and you'll be one more degree smarter today.
Yes. Perfect. All right, guys. Let's head over to the frat house. Go raid Randy Hipper's house. We appreciate y'all joining us here today. Don't forget to tune in tonight, this evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Crypto Nightcap right here on Piper Academy. Then at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Markets After Dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto. Tomorrow morning, pre-market, we have the Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp. And then we'll be back here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the news, charts, the markets, the economy, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit, guys. Till then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss. Catch you next time.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. Sound off. To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.